We have Julie here, my really good friend from Korea, and we're just gonna be having a mukbang of cheesy chicken here. What do we have there?
Rice balls. So you can make this. This is rice in here. You can make it into like balls.
And then we just have random sides like corn,
Side dishes.
right here,
and some sauce. And this is what was this again?
Flying fish roll, which is good in sushi.
This one.
So.
And we also have some of this leaf.
Perilla leaves. Do you like perilla leaves?
I actually really like these. I like them.
Every time I eat with my coworkers, I eat everything but this.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
This I like this.
I know.
𝚬𝚘𝚌𝚐𝚎𝚗𝚝.
It's too furry.
It's my favorite.
Hairy.
Here.
I don't know.
And we have
Seaweed.
okay.
Today we are gonna talk about life in Korea
Yes.
as a Southeast Asian woman.
So being an Asian foreigner in Korea.
So we're just gonna wing it. Okay.
First, let's try this and see how it tastes. So
Yeah.
I'm Asian, but I can't do spicy foods. So we'll see if this is spicy.
And if we ate earlier, the cheese would have been way cheesier. But like I said, mukbangs are so hard to do. This is good. Is it too spicy for you?
It's a little spicy, but with the cheese, it's less spicy. So
I never cared about cheese until I came to Korea. Did you know that?
yeah, me too. I never thought about like cheese on like chicken, and then I came here and I actually really liked it. Okay, I'm gonna do. Should I mix this first or should I just make? Okay. So
Yeah.
this is the rice ball. So I'm gonna mix it.
It's so fun making the rice balls. But I've never had it with the purple rice before.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The cool thing too is that they have purple rice here. It reminds me of
This. Like sticky rice.
Yeah. Hold that down.
Toss. Ooh, that's a nice plate.
Thanks. It's probably my only plate I have here.
That sounds typical. Okay.
Go ahead.
So we are back. Here are some rice balls that I made. You can make them in different sizes. But yeah, so you can ask me some of the questions.
Oh, okay, yes, of course. So can you tell everyone your life as a foreigner, as an Asian foreigner in Korea? How is it like?
So I think similar and different from being like non-Asian in Korea. Like I think one of the biggest things that like there's advantages and disadvantages. One of the advantages is that you can like blend in. So like if you're going shopping or you're going somewhere, people just think that you're Korean, so they don't really stare at you or like they don't say anything to you because they just think that you're Korean. But one of the disadvantages I feel like is like because they think that you're Korean, so they treat you like how they treat Koreans. So I feel like with my foreigner friends who are not Asian, I feel like they get like nicer or easier treatment. So like if I like talk to someone on the streets and I'm like, oh, 한국말 못해요, like I can't speak Korean, they'll be like, what, and they'll think like I'm like a Korean American and like I don't speak Korean. So like sometimes I feel like they're like meaner to me, or like they're like, for example, one time I was on the bus, like just like the first few weeks that we were here, and like I scanned my card to get into the bus. And then the bus driver was saying something, but I wasn't sure if he was talking to me or he was talking to like someone else. So I went up and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't speak Korean. Like, what did you say? And he was kind of like mean to me. He was like, gave me like I don't know, like maybe like an attitude, maybe not attitude, but he was just like really mean about it and like not trying to help me because I didn't understand what he was saying. And like at that time I was just like, I just came here, so I didn't know like any Korean. So it was like really hard, and like even just saying like, oh, I'm sorry, like I don't know, it was really hard.
At least you know how to say that.
Yeah.
I just say like, I don't even know what I say. Like I say things out of the moment. So I'll just be like, sorry. 미국 사람. You know, I am the worst foreigner ever. Seriously.
It's like, I think for us too, it's like people expect that we speak Korean. Like people think like, oh, like because you're Asian, like you speak Korean, or they think that we're like Korean American. So like they think we can speak like at least a little Korean, but like we don't speak any Korean. So it's really hard, and we've been trying to learn, but I think like learning Korean when you're an English teacher is really hard because your job is to speak English every day.
Yeah, they don't want you to speak Korean at all.
So I try like, even like with my students, even if I know like a little bit of what they're asking me, like 𝐷𝓚𝓚, which is like bathroom, like I would act like, oh, I don't know, like can you like say that in English, because like they prefer if you don't like speak Korean to the students, or like for my school at least.
Same with mine. School life. How's that for you? I wish the cheese was cheesier.
The cheese is not. Look at the cheese, guys. Look at the cheese.
There's some hard cheese.
It took too long. But yeah, my school life, I think my students were really shocked that I was Asian when I first came. But like even my co-teachers were Asians, or my co-teachers were shocked that I was Asian. 'Cause I remember like the first day I went to work, and I was there like a little bit early, and I went to like the teacher's office to sit there and wait for the other teachers to come. And like when they came, and then like the teacher that was there was like, oh, this is teacher Julie, and they were all like, oh, she's Asian. They were a little like surprised that I was Asian and I'm the English teacher, because they thought that I would be like white or not Asian. So they were a little surprised. And even my students, they're surprised. And they always wonder like, oh, like you're Asian though, so how can you be like the English teacher? So I explain to them like, oh, you know, like I'm Hmong, and like my parents came to the US and I was born there. But then they don't really understand like the concept of like what Hmong is, like as an ethnicity. So they will ask me like, oh, so you're like Korean American, like you're like Korean? I'm like, no, I'm not. So it's kind of hard to explain to students. Yeah. What about your experience?
It was really hard for me. So the kids are super sweet. When I first got here, they were lined up like by the window, just peeping through. It was really cute. Maybe because my school are middle schoolers, you know. Yeah, so they were adorable. I felt really loved. I felt like I was, you know, popular. But
yeah, like a celebrity.
Yeah, I really did. During the first week, during introductions, it was really hard to explain what Hmong was, because I'm like, I'm Hmong. Do you know what that is? And they're like, no. And I'm like, it's a tribe. We're from the mountains in Laos. You know where Laos is? They're like, and
no.
like next to Thailand. They're like, oh yeah, you know. So it's really hard to explain what we are.
I think even like in the US, it's hard to explain. Like a lot of people don't understand. Like they think I'm like from Mongolia, but I'm not. So like even like that concept is hard in the US to explain to. But a lot of like the students, they just because like in Korea everyone is Korean, whereas like in the States people are like from all different like backgrounds. So like we understand that concept a little bit more.
Yeah.
So now we're making. So I like to eat it with this little green like radish thing. I really like this. And I like this leaf, so I'm going to eat it with the leaf.
If they had lettuce, I wouldn't mind it with lettuce. But this is good. This is called Sam. S-S-A-M. I love the rice balls. Me. As a Hmong person here, as a Southeast Asian woman or individual here, do you still feel like a minority? Because I still feel like it.
Yeah. So actually, that's a really good question, because in Korea, there are a lot of like Southeast Asian women in general. Not really a lot of men, but there are more Southeast Asian women that come here either to get married, so they marry Korean men, or they come here for work. So they work at like massage, Thai massages. So like usually when we go like get like Thai massages, it's not Korean, it's Thai women like that actually from Thailand. And one of my friends, like one of the girls at the massage area or the massage place, actually became my friend. And so I would talk to her about that. But I feel like it just Southeast Asian women are like down on, or like because they come here to get married, so people think of them as like, oh, you know, they're poor, or like if you're from like Philippines or you're from like Thailand or Laos, like you're poor, you're coming here to get a better life. So I think like for me that part is hard, and women from like Southeast Asia, like me and like Xiong, I don't feel like we're that dark, but like they can, like the Koreans can tell like, oh, like you're so dark, you know, or like I can compare my skin color to my students, and they think like oh, like you're so dark, so like the lighter you are, like the better. And like usually Southeast Asians are like darker, you know.
Even living in America, being an American, I never felt like I was a real American. I always felt like I'm Asian, and I feel like they always looked down on me for being Asian. And so being here, it kind of feels the same too.
See, it feels the same. Yeah. So like
no matter where you are.
discrimination in the US, and then like discrimination in like Korea too. So it's like you don't belong, but then you also don't belong here either. Yeah. So because I do feel that like that in the States. So people always ask me, oh, like where are you from? Or no, like where are you really from? Like I don't mean like the state that you're from, but like you know like your people. I'm like, oh, like what do you mean? Like so there's like this like foreigner like identity that like is always like attached to like Asians. So I definitely felt that
no
before.
matter where we are. So just because we are in an Asian country and we're Asian, we're still not treated the same. Although I mean, Koreans though, they are really sweet. They're really sweet to me.
I think they're sweet, but like I feel like, I don't know if it's true or like if other people have experienced it, but I feel like with my foreigner friends who are like not Asian, they get better treatment. So like for example, when we will go out to eat, if it's just me and like Xiong, or like me and like another foreigner that are Asian, we never get like freebies, or like service. They call it service here. So like service is just like they give you something for free to eat, or they'll give you like a free pop or something like that. Yeah,
they don't do that in Pohang.
They do, but then like if I'm just like with like my Asian friends or like by myself, they never give me like service. But when I'm with like friends who are white or like are like non-Asian, or like black, or like I don't know, just like not Asian appearing,
I never noticed that.
They get like we always get service,
but I do get service, but I never noticed it until you pointed it out. Yeah, if you and I went out, I don't think we would get it.
So
yeah, it's crazy. But keep eating.
I'm bad at eating and talking. So
no, actually, like I don't know how to balance it. So it takes a lot. How did you tell your parents you were gonna come here?
Yes. Oh, my parents were not very happy. Because before coming here, I was a grad student. So
my girl got her master's.
I was in grad school, like surprise, right? So actually, I was in like a PhD program, and then so you do the master's along the way. And after 2 years, I was like, I'm done. So I decided to leave, and once I left, I worked at a university for a little bit, and then I've always wanted to like travel and like teach English. Like I love teaching and I love traveling. So I was like, like maybe I should try it again before try it before I get too old and I can't do it anymore. And so I kind of just like decided like very last minute, like, okay, I'm gonna go. And then I was looking at a lot of different programs, like in Japan and like Taiwan and other countries. But I felt like EPIC, or the program that we did, was more like legit. Like I knew I wasn't gonna get like sex trafficked or like any, like I knew like, okay, this is legit, and like I'm gonna be provided with these things. So then I decided to come here, and I was like really last minute. Like I still remember it was like July 4th that I had my interview, and like it was like really quick. Like it took like maybe just like a month.
July 4th?
Yeah.
We got here August 18th.
Yeah. It was really quick. So I had my interview on July 4th. Because I remember I woke up really early that day, and then I did the interview, and then later that day they like sent me like a message to like my recruiter saying like, okay, you got accepted. And then like I came, and then people like I would tell people like, oh, I'm going to Korea. They're like, oh, really? When? I'm like next month, and they would be like, that's crazy. I'm like, yeah, like it was that quick.
Oh my God.
So I felt like it was like a split, like quick decision to come.
Yeah.
But I've always wanted to like teach English abroad or like travel abroad and live abroad. So I felt like if I didn't do it while I'm young, I probably won't have the opportunity again. So I did it. I told my parents about it, and they were like not very happy about it. Because like before coming to Korea, I lived like away from my parents for grad school, so I didn't live close to them. And then like I've only been there I lived there for like a year, and then I came here to Korea.
Yeah.
So my parents were not very happy, but they were supportive, and my mom came to Korea to see me.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
During her winter vacation, they went to the Philippines
And Taiwan.
and she came here. Mom, I wish my mom did that. But it's okay. My mom has things to take care of. That's really cute. I'm so glad she came to spend time with you.
I'm always like, I think like I always get surprised at like how brave my mom is, because we lived in the US for a really long time, but her English isn't that good. And so she was coming to Korea like from the States by herself to Korea, and like her English isn't that good. She doesn't know any Korean. So I was like a little worried, like, oh, is she gonna get here? Like, what's gonna happen at the airport? But she got here, and she was a little upset when she got here. But you know, she got here, and we traveled, and she had a really good time. She really enjoyed Taiwan when we were in Taiwan. She loved it because the natural like sceneries and such.
Yeah.
So she really enjoyed that, but it was really cold in Korea during that time, so she didn't enjoy Korea that much.
That's right. How about your dad? How's your dad? I'm sure, you know, as every Hmong person knows, I think the dads are the hardest to please. I love my dad. He's really cool, but he can get a little scary. Is that how your dad is?
He's kind of weird. Like, my dad is scary, but not really. Like, I think the relationship that I have with my dad is different from like how he has it with my other siblings. Because growing up, I've always been like really stubborn. Like, okay, I'm gonna do this, so I really like want to do it, so I'm gonna go and do it. And so like before coming to Korea, I like when I was in undergrad, I went to like Japan and Taiwan, and they really didn't want me to go. Because they were like, oh, it's like this new country. We don't know anything about it, so we don't really want you to go. But I was like, no, I'm gonna go. So I feel like over the years, he's gotten like more lenient with me. But he's really funny. I always feel like my dad reminds me of like Jackie Chan.
That's cute.
He's really cute. He's really funny, but he's also like really serious. Like, he wants us to like study hard. Like, growing up, he always like would tell us like, yo, you need to study hard now, like work hard now, play later.
Yeah.
So he always like
daddy.
made sure that we were studying hard and working towards good things.
I was really scared. I think the only person I was really scared about coming here to Korea was my dad. Because, you know, yeah, he has expectations, you know. So, like, I didn't get done with college. I got done with college like 4 years ago. But at that time, I was done, and I was supposed to go to grad school. So he knew my plans already. But then I told my parents, I told my mom and my siblings that I was going to go. And my dad was not happy at all. But then one day I picked him up from the car. From work, right? And we were in the car, just us two. I was so scared.
Really?
Yeah, I was so scared because I was like, oh, I know he's going to talk about it. Like, we both know that I'm going, you know? But I just told him, I'm too comfortable here. I've been out of school. I still didn't apply to grad school yet. So I'm like, Dad, I'm too comfortable. I want to go, and when I come back, I'll be ready to do it. And then he said, sure. Like, I was actually surprised. He's like, okay, well, we have to put your car to parking insurance. I'm like, wow. That feeling of approval. Getting approved was so good. Why did you decide to come here?
Yeah. Because I always wanted to travel and teach. So I decided to come here. In Korea, I think like the pay rate is more comparable to like US pay rate. Whereas like in other countries, I feel like it's not as comparable. And so even though we are here in Korea, we still have bills that we're paying like in the States.
Yeah.
So we need to be making like at least something that's comparable so that we can pay our bills back home.
Yeah.
Especially because like the dollar is more than like the Korean won. And so like we think like, oh well, I'm making like this much money, but like when you convert it to US dollars, it's like less.
Yeah. We might be living our life here in Korea, and it's a lot of fun. And we teach, and it's rewarding. It feels nice to be here and be traveling at the same time. I feel like I'm working, but also I feel like I'm on vacation. You know? It's nice. But regardless, we still have bills to pay for. We're still paying our student loans.
Yeah. They remind me of like the students. I really love the students because like students are so cute. Not all the time. They're so cute, and like I love my students because every time they see me, that was, oh, hi teacher, or like Julie teacher. Like, oh, Julie teacher. And like they're always like hugging me or like trying to hold my hand, or so I just feel like so much love from the students. So I really enjoyed that part of being in Korea too. It's like the love that I receive from the students, because although in the classroom they're not always well behaved, outside of the classroom they're always loving. So like I don't like hold it against them like if they behave poorly or like badly in the classroom, because you know they're a kid, and I teach elementary and you teach
middle schoolers.
all middle school.
So 1st to 3rd grade, which is basically 7th to 9th grade. So some of them are moody, some of them are lazy, some of them are loud and obnoxious. But there's some really good students in each class that kind of tame them down, you know. So it makes me feel good, because I'm not good at class management at all. That's what I'm bad at. But you've taught before, right? Which is really cool.
So I was really lucky because in undergrad I like did some trips abroad. So like I would teach English abroad. So I taught English in Japan, in like a summer camp kind of thing. And then I taught English in Taiwan to some college students. But it's different when you're living like abroad for a whole year and teaching English. Oh, and like the I just dropped some food. And the like the atmosphere is different. But yeah, I taught English before. I enjoy teaching English because it's so fun, like to help people communicate. You know what I mean? Like, it's so fun to help people communicate. And when I teach English, I teach like you know, just speaking and whatnot. But also I love teaching like in undergrad I was in sociology, and in grad school I was in sociology. So I love teaching about like race relations in the US, or like gender relations, or just like inequality or discrimination in the US. And like for February, Black History Month, I taught like my students about slavery, and they're like, wow, we never
that's awesome.
So like they never knew that kind of things like about the US. They just think like the US is this like beautiful place, we have freedom, but they weren't aware of those kind of things. Like US history, like they weren't aware of US history. So like when I like introduced that to them, they were like really shocked, like, oh my god, really, these things happen in the US? Like we didn't know about these things. But my students are elementary students, so like there's only so much that you can teach them.
That's impressive. You have to show me your PowerPoint, or you don't do PowerPoints. You just
that one I did a PowerPoint.
Oh, okay.
So me and Sean, we have our really different teaching styles. So I like to do more like writing. And like when I teach, I don't use PowerPoint a lot, but Sean likes to use PowerPoint. But it really depends on just like your style.
I like your style because I feel like it's been proven that when you write things down, you know, I think you learn more, you retain more things. But for me, I'm not really good at teaching. I'm good at making sure they're interacting, you know, in English. So I do more PowerPoints to keep them, I don't know, more alert. So I think I get the for my lessons, I feel like I hope I get them to memorize the key expressions, but that's only speaking wise. But your students, they're actually writing it down, so I think they're gonna retain more things.
So teaching English in Korea, or like teaching English as a foreign teacher, is really different from like English like in high school or like elementary school like in the States. Because here you're not really teaching like grammar, you're teaching more like phrases like I like chicken. So like they're taught to like we say those phrases like repetitively, like I like chicken, I like pizza, I like blah 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 and whatnot, or like what time is it? It's blah 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 time.
Yeah.
So like we teach more like, okay, this is what this means, and then like more speaking. So I think it's more like maybe more speaking focused, or like it's trying, instead of trying to get them to like recognize like being able to read the word, it's more getting them to like be able to conversate with like an English speaker.
I wish my students actually wrote in a notebook like your students.
The first semester I was here, I didn't have them write in a notebook, but the second semester I required like all the students, like you need to bring a notebook, because I would just have them like also write down like the vocabulary words like in Korean and also in English. So I'll be like, okay, write this like 3 times in English and just 1 time in Korean, something like that, to help like jog their memory.
Yeah.
I think the hardest part about elementary is like, I don't know for middle school, but elementary we don't give homework.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
So like, because usually you will assign those kind of things for homework.
Yeah.
But because we don't give homework, you have to use ClassSync to do it. And then like to make sure that students actually do it, you have to like check it and you give them stamps. So yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Yeah, I lost my train of thought.
No, my students, actually, thanks to you, Julie gave me her signature reward system. So, anytime my students basically complete a worksheet, win a game, or practice, the scripting out loud, then I give them a signature. And they love it. So thank you, teacher Julie.
You're welcome.
Julie teacher.
Yeah, so if they get like 5 signatures, they can get like candy. So I do like, if you get 5 signatures, you can get like 2 pieces of candy. So I think that really like motivates the students to like participate, especially if you have like a class where like nobody wants to talk.
Yeah.
Do you also do 2 pieces of candy?
I do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
1, 2. Yeah, because there's 5 rows. But then like I think it just depends on the day for me. If I'm feeling generous, I'm like, oh, you could take 2. And you could take 3. Yeah. Teaching in Korea. You only have 2 weeks left. Oh my god.
It's crazy. Some more questions about being Southeast Asian.
Asian foreigner experience.
One experience that we had was we went to nightlife in Daegu, and we're Asian, so we were like, okay, like we're like pretty Korean, but we went to this club, and they were like, no foreigners, and we're like, well, you didn't even look at our cards yet. Like, how do you know that we're foreigners? But automatically they were like, no, you can't come in. This is like a Korean only club. So we were like, oh my god, like that was shocking. Like, especially because we're Asian, so you would think like, oh, they would at least check our IDs or something first before saying that. So that was like a shocking experience.
I've never been rejected before, and it hurt. It hurt.
It did hurt. It made us feel a type of way for the rest of the night.
Yes. Just being denied. Oh my goodness. I still remember. And remember when I went back. I went back, and I'm kind of bad. I was kind of recording. I was just asking him like, wait, so I can't get in? And then he chased me, right? I heard stories of people not getting in, but I never really thought it would happen to us. If you're not Korean, if you're a foreigner, you're not welcome at a lot of the nightlife clubs,
or like
bars.
The Koreans, they want like places where it's only Koreans.
Yeah.
So.
And if you go to some certain places, like this one that we went to, was it for Debbie's birthday? It was like, I feel like it was free for all the Koreans.
Yeah, so they had a sign saying like foreigners have to pay to get in because like the staff can't speak English, and so sometimes there's like problems with the foreigners, so that's like the foreigners have to pay, which like that really sucks. Like I do see why like they do that sometimes, because it like maybe it's harder for them to deal with the like foreigners, but like there's a lot of foreigners who also speak Korean, you know. So like I was just really shocked. And like Debbie, she's Korean American, but she had to pay too. So
that's right.
Yeah,
she did ask
had
them.
to pay because she asked them like, "Oh, do I have to pay because I'm Korean?" And then they were like, "Oh yeah, you have to pay still because she's Korean American." Yeah, the stuff that we have to go through here. Yeah,
it's been fun.
It's been fun. I enjoy Korea. Like I had so much fun while I was here. I learned so many new things.
Yeah.
Even like just like self growth. You know, self growth, and like it's so hard like being in a country where you don't speak the language. Like when our parents were going to the U.S., like being refugees and going to the U.S. from like Laos and Thailand. Like I don't know how they did it because they didn't speak any English
at all.
Yeah, and they have to live there for like the rest of their lives. Whereas like we're only here for 1 year, so it's like we're suffering, but it's only for 1 year. So I don't like. It just gave me so much more like respect for my parents because they have to suffer.
I give them props. They work so hard too. Being here has been really good for me too. I've grown a lot. You know, I've grown a lot within myself. Like, what advice would you give to all the to everyone who wants to teach English in Korea? To every Hmong girl or every individual who wants to come abroad to teach Korea or to teach English in Korea.
Do your research. I think we came here with like an idea of what we thought we were going to like getting ourselves into, and when we got here it was like a whole different story, you know. And I think being flexible is really important, because there's going to be a lot of times where you think that something is happening and it's not, or you're like, okay, I'm relaxed, like I have no classes today, and they're like, oh, you have classes today.
Yes.
So there's like a lot of surprises or like unplanned schedules.
Yeah. All the time.
And I think also knowing that your situation is going to be different from like your friend or like someone else's. So everybody's experience in Korea is different. Like I can't say like anyone has like the same experience, because like maybe you're in the same city, but like your co-teacher is different from the other person's co-teacher or whatnot. Specifically for like,
eat the last 2 balls. Sorry.
I'll try. You eat that one, I eat this one.
I feel like I ate a lot of balls.
Really?
Already. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you can eat it. Sorry.
Oh, I'll try. But okay, I'm gonna put this in half. No, help me.
I'll help you with half.
Okay, help me with half. But I think specifically for like Asian people that want to come to Korea, I say do it. If you really want to come, have a conversation with your parents. I think like the hardest part for like Asians is probably like talking to the parents about like how they're going to be like leaving their family and moving to another country. I think like that part is really hard. But I think like build trust with your family. Talk about what you're going to be doing. Also give your parents like information on like what you're going to be doing, because I think my parents were worried like how are you going to make money? What are you going to eat? Where are you going to live? Like what are you going to do? Like they didn't know anything about this program. So informing them about the program was like really helpful, because they're like, oh, okay, so we understand like what you're doing now. Another thing about Korea is I think just have fun. Like don't take things seriously, because sometimes like there's a cultural difference. So like if your manager or your co-teacher or somebody does something, you kind of feel like, oh, like that was kind of offensive to me, or like, wow, like I don't know, they're out to get me. Like never ever think that they're out to get you. Like always think like, oh no, maybe there's a cultural differences. Never take anything personally.
Yes.
What are some of your advices?
I would say if you want to do this, learn the language. I didn't really, you know. The only thing I really knew of Korea was, I mean, all the food and like the basic words from Korean dramas, you know, but it wasn't enough. So I wish I learned the alphabet before I came here.
And the alphabet is really easy to learn. Like, if you just take some time to learn it, you can learn it.
Yeah.
So I do agree, like, learning the language is, like, important. But you don't need to know, like, you don't need to be a pro.
No.
Right.
You don't.
You just need to know the basics, like, bathroom. How much is it?
How to order things.
How to order things. And, like, there's so many, like, apps nowadays that you can use to help you. But, like, being, like, willing to learn the language is really important. What else?
And if you really want to come, I say just do it. Don't let anything hold you back. Don't let your boyfriend. Okay, Julie has a boyfriend of like a decade. Okay?
It's been a long time.
Yeah, and she's here. So don't use your boyfriend, fiance, husband as an excuse to not come here. I feel like, because I wanted to do this, 5-6 years ago. Even before I finished college. But I was in a relationship and he didn't want me to come across the country, you know? So I didn't. But I wish I did at that time, you know? I'm really glad I'm here right now. But just don't let anything stop you from coming here. It's okay to be selfish sometimes. I feel like in life, we're so selfless, you know? We give ourselves to others. We do so much for others. But like, you gotta love yourself and do things for yourself. This is like the best thing I've actually done for myself. To be abroad. What about you?
I think don't be scared to take that next step. You know, I think like a lot of people are scared, like, oh, I don't really know what I'm doing, or like I just don't know. Because the thing is, nobody knows in life like what's gonna happen, you know, or like nobody knows like their career. Because like I feel like, well, we're young, so people always think like after you finish college, you should already have a career and like you should be in your dream job. Like that's not real at all.
No.
And so don't be afraid to just like try it. Like try something new, especially if you really want to do it. Just try it, and it's only for 1 year.
Yeah.
So it's not like
really fast.
It's like too long. It's not too long. It went by super quickly for us.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to like hop in there and just try it. And if you like it, you can sign on for another year. If you don't like it, you can leave. Like after the year is done. So like I hate the idea like that people ingrain in us like, oh, you know you need to have this career set out. You can't like stray from this path. But like the thing is, no one really knows what their path is, or like some people may know, but like I feel like I don't know still what I really want to do.
Same.
And I only have like 2 weeks left, and then I go back to the States. So like I don't know really for sure what I'm gonna do when I go back to the States. Like I have like an idea. Yeah. Do you have any idea about what you want to do?
Right now I'm having third world problems. No, or is it first world problems? Okay, sorry. I'm having first world problems. Deciding on or planning my trips, right?
Where are you going?
I have 28 days left until I'm back at home. I'm going to Thailand, Philippines, and Bali. So I'm excited. And once I get home, I'm gonna have the whole month to myself, you know? So yes, I will be bumming, but I think I really need it too. So.
I think one thing too about Korea is like, while I'm here, I was working, but I also thought about like the year that I've been here as like kind of like a year-long vacation.
Yeah.
Like,
it's been so nice, and I think we all just need that. Because I have really successful friends who, you know, who's like a pharmacist, soon to be a pharmacist. You know, chiropractors. It's cool. Like realtors. It's really cool, and I'm so proud of them. Because their goals, right? Like as in success for life. But when they talk to me, they're like, "Well, you're living the life. You're over there. You know, like I wish I could be doing that." And I'm like, "Thanks. Like cool. You know."
So I think everyone takes different paths. And we had fun while we were here for our whole year, and we traveled. We went to like this like 3-day vacation in 𝚁𝚘𝚌𝚐𝚎 Island. So that was really fun. Sean's been to like other countries when was here. She went to like a two-day trip to Japan.
My God, yeah.
And, like a weekend trip to Japan, you know? So it's like, I think coming to Korea is like a hop, but it's also like really fun, like just to explore like your own self, like things that you like, things that you don't like.
Yes.
Exploring other countries that are nearby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I went to Taiwan and I went to Philippines and you went to Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
You bought your Taiwan ticket like the day of, right? Or the night of. For how much?
for like 100.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it was really crazy. So when my mom came, we were like, so I was supposed to be working, but then some things happened and then I had like time off. So like that night I was like, oh, you know, like what are we gonna do? Like I suddenly now have this time off. And so I was looking at tickets on Air Busan, and there was tickets to go to Taiwan that night.
Yeah.
So I was like, do you want to go, Mom? And she was like, yeah, let's go. And then we were like, okay. And so we were in Korea and we just packed our bags and then we left for Taiwan for like 3 days. And then we came back to Korea to fly to our original trip that we had already planned to the Philippines. Yeah. So that was kind of like a like just on the spot, like crazy, like spontaneous thing. And my mom was like down for it. She was like, okay, let's go. She's like, I'm packing my bags right now while you're getting the tickets.
Right.
So it was really fun.
That's why it's so fun just being here. Who can say that they went to Taiwan for a weekend? You know, I mean, like on the night of.
The night of.
Like
literally I like
crazy.
bought tickets like that day at like, I don't know, 3. Like I bought tickets at 3 and our flight was leaving at like 10 p.m.
Yeah.
So literally like it was like, okay, I'm just gonna pack my bag super quickly and then we left. So that was like super fun. Like it was scary because we didn't know where we were gonna stay. We didn't know anything.
Oh my God.
But we just knew like this is when our flight time is. And so we were like down to go and my mom was down to go. She's amazing. So because I was kind of like, oh, I don't know if we should go. I don't know if we should go. And my mom was like, yeah, let's go. And I was like, okay. So I just bought the tickets and then we left and then we had a great time when we were in Taiwan. And also a great time when we were in the Philippines.
Yeah, I'm so excited for the Philippines.
Sean's going to the Philippines with some of our other friends.
Yes.
So they'll have a good time when they're
We're
there.
gonna have a blast. I will make sure I document it. And I will make sure I will not lose the footages. Because I lost the footages with 𝚬𝚘𝚌𝚞𝚎. My external hard drive is broken at the moment. I'm gonna see if I can fix it back at home though. But I don't know.
I think you might be able to.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yes, you might be able to.
Anything else?
I think that's it. If you have questions for us or anything, you can drop them in the comment box.
And you know what we forgot to do? A picture, a
Oh.
thumbnail. But it's alright.
We just have this left now.
We did good. Good job.
We finished this.
Killed the rice balls.
There's only one left.
Okay, well, thank you for coming to my
Thank you for having me.
what do I even call this?
Yes.
Thanks for coming and
to our rant. We just
yeah.
like this was supposed to be focused on something and we're just like our way off topic.
Yes, but this is good. I'm so glad you came over here. She's in my apartment. I'm gonna miss you, but you know what's crazy? We live in Minnesota.
Yes. So we live in the same state and like actually really close to each other, but we never knew. Like we had like similar friends.
Yes.
But we never knew like how like actually like close.
How connected we
Yeah,
are.
like how connected we were. And I'm like, oh.
Crazy.
So until we got here, like I actually went to school with like her brother. So that was like crazy. Yeah. But you and him kind of look alike. So maybe that's why when I first saw her, I was like, oh, she looks familiar. But
That's so funny.
yeah, so
She went to school with my brother. If I stayed in that same area, we would have gone to the same high school. But I moved.
yeah, but then she moved. So
Yeah.
so thank you for having me.
Yes. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming
Thanks
for coming over.
So
and
funny
hanging out
story
with me.
about coming over here. Like so in Korea you can take the bus anywhere, and I took the bus here. But you know I don't speak that much Korean. Like I barely speak any Korean, so I didn't know like you have to buy like a ticket for her specific location. So I just bought like for like the area, and then like the bus driver was saying like the area like, oh, if you want to get off here, you know. But then I didn't know like you had to like tell them that you want to get up. I thought like the bus just stopped there. So like I didn't say anything, and so I ended up going like all the way down to like passing her house, going all the way down, and then I went up to the bus driver. I was like, 한국만 못해요, airport, and then he was like, oh, I go, and then he like let me off. So that was rough, and then I had to take a bus to get to Sean's place. So it was an adventure to get here.
It was nice that he actually dropped you off there.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Some people would have been like, too bad, son. I thought you just buy Ulsan and then you go. But I learned that the hard way today.
Yeah, now we know. It's a little late for us now.
Yeah, oh, whatever.
But
yeah. The next, the YouTube life can know, or the YouTube community can know now.
Yes, now you know. We're gonna close this video.
Thank you for watching. See you next time.